The Galactic Council was the most powerful organization in the known galaxy. Hundreds of alien civilizations trusted it to keep peace, manage trade routes, and explore new regions of space. The council chamber was enormous. A giant circular room floating in orbit above a peaceful blue planet. Representatives from many species sat around the chamber. Some were tall and thin. Some had glowing eyes. Others had skin like stone or scales like reptiles. But today's meeting was different. A young alien cartographer named Teral stood in the center of the room. Teral belonged to a small explorer species known for mapping new star systems. His job was simple: create the most accurate map of the galaxy ever made. Behind him, a giant holographic map slowly appeared in the air. Thousands of stars lit up like tiny suns. Bright trade routes connected distant civilizations. Colorful markers showed territories of powerful empires. The council members watched with interest. Teral spoke carefully. "This is the most updated map of our galaxy. It includes every known star system and every explored sector." Some council members nodded with approval. But then Teral paused. He zoomed the hologram outward, showing a much larger part of space. "That is where something strange appears," he said. A quiet murmur spread through the chamber. Teral pointed to a large dark region on the map. Unlike other areas, this place had no routes, no colonies, and no exploration markers. It was empty. But it was not unknown. A label slowly appeared over the region. Human territory. Teral looked around the room. "I checked hundreds of maps from many civilizations," he continued. "Every single map stops at this same border." He zoomed in closer. Trade routes ended near the edge. Exploration lines turned away from it. Even military patrol routes avoided it. It was as if the entire galaxy refused to go there. Teral asked the question that had been bothering him for weeks. Why do all maps stop at human space? The room suddenly became very quiet. The strange silence made Teral uneasy. Several council members looked at each other. Others avoided looking at the map completely. Finally, one of the oldest council members slowly stood up. His species was ancient. His skin looked pale and thin, and his glowing eyes had seen centuries of galactic history. His name was Elder Veruin. He stared at the map for a long moment. Then he spoke in a calm but heavy voice. "Because some borders should never be crossed." Teral frowned slightly. "With respect, Elder," he said, "that does not answer the question." The council chamber became tense. Veruin looked around the room as if deciding whether to continue. Then he sighed quietly. "Many centuries ago," he said, "the galaxy did not know much about humans. They were a new species, young compared to the rest of us." The holographic map shifted slightly as Teral listened. "At first," Veruin continued, "many civilizations tried to explore their territory. Some wanted trade. Some wanted alliances. And some wanted conquest." A few council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Veruin continued slowly. "The first fleet that entered human space never returned." Teral blinked in surprise. "Destroyed?" he asked. Veruin shook his head. "No signal. No debris. No survivors." The chamber remained silent. Veruin continued. "Then a second fleet entered. And a third. And a fourth. Still nothing returned." Teral looked at the map again. "But that was centuries ago," he said. "Surely someone has gone there since then." Another council member spoke suddenly. Her voice was quiet but nervous. "Yes." The entire room turned toward her. She was a military commander from a powerful warrior species. "Our empire once sent a fleet to investigate," she said. "What happened?" Teral asked. The commander hesitated before answering. "They came back." Teral looked relieved. So human space is not dangerous. The commander slowly shook her head. They came back, but they were different. The room became tense again. They refused to speak about what they saw, she continued. Many of them resigned from service. Some disappeared. Others left the galaxy completely. Teral felt a chill run through his body. What did they report? The commander looked at the dark region of the map. They only sent one message before returning. Teral leaned forward. What message? The commander spoke the words quietly. Do not go there again. The council chamber fell completely silent. But Teral still had one more question. If human space was so dangerous, why did the humans never attack the rest of the galaxy? Elder Veruin slowly looked at him. His voice became even quieter. Because humans are not hiding from the galaxy. He pointed slowly toward the dark region on the map. The truth is much worse. The galaxy is hiding from them. The council chamber slowly emptied after the meeting ended. Many alien leaders left quietly, whispering to each other. No one seemed comfortable talking about human space. But Teral could not stop thinking about it. The map was still floating in front of him. That dark region labeled human territory looked even more mysterious now. Why would the entire galaxy avoid it? Why did the council sound afraid? And most importantly, what were humans hiding? Teral left the chamber and walked through the long silver halls of the council station. The station was huge, like a floating city in space. Thousands of officials, scientists, and explorers worked there every day. But Teral had only one destination in mind. The Galactic Archives. The archives contained records from thousands of years of galactic history. Every exploration mission, every discovery, every battle was stored there. If the truth about humans existed anywhere, it would be there. Teral entered the archive chamber. The room was massive and silent. Rows of glowing data towers stretched from floor to ceiling. Each tower stored millions of historical records. A robotic archive keeper floated toward him. Identify your request, the machine said calmly. Teral hesitated for a moment. Then he said quietly. Records about early contact with human civilization. The robot paused. Its glowing eye flickered. Access to those records is restricted. Teral frowned. Restricted? Why? By order of the Galactic Council. That made Teral even more curious. What level of clearance is required? Council level clearance. Teral knew he did not have that level. But he also knew something else. Explorers often had access to old navigation data. And sometimes, navigation data contained pieces of history. Show me all navigation logs from missions that entered human space, he said. The robot processed the request. This time it did not refuse. A holographic screen appeared. Old records began to scroll across the air. The first record was over 200 years old. Teral began reading. The mission was called Exploration Fleet 7. 20 ships had entered human territory to establish first contact. The final log entry read. Entering human space. Sensors detect multiple unknown signals. Attempting communication. That was the last message. No other signal was ever received. Teral continued searching. Another mission appeared. This one was larger. Military Fleet Aurora. 100 advanced warships entered human territory. Their mission was simple, investigate the disappearance of earlier ships. The final message from that fleet appeared on the screen. Teral leaned closer as he read it. We see them. That was all. Just 3 words. Teral felt a strange chill. Who did they see? Humans. Or something else? He kept searching. More fleets had entered human space. Explorers. Traders. Military patrols. Almost all of them disappeared. But then Teral found something different. One small research ship had actually returned. The ship was called the Silent Horizon. Teral quickly opened its final report. The message was damaged, but parts of it were still readable. Human fleets appeared suddenly. They were not hostile. Teral blinked. Not hostile. The message continued. Their technology is far beyond anything we have seen. Teral's eyes widened. The message continued again. They allowed us to leave, but warned us not to return. Teral read the final line of the report slowly. Humans are not hiding from the galaxy. They are guarding something. Teral froze. Guarding something? What could humans possibly be guarding? He searched deeper in the records. But suddenly the holographic screen went dark. The robot archive keeper floated back toward him. Access terminated, it said. Teral looked confused. Why? Your search has reached restricted information. Teral crossed his arms. What are humans guarding? The robot did not answer. Instead it spoke in a cold mechanical voice. That information is classified by the Galactic Council. Teral stared at the dark screen. Now he was more certain than ever. The Council was hiding something important. Something terrifying. And whatever it was, humans were standing in front of it. Teral slowly looked up at the giant map still floating in the air. That dark region of space suddenly felt very different. Maybe the galaxy was not avoiding human space because it was dangerous. Maybe the galaxy was avoiding it because it was protected. And maybe the Council was afraid of the truth. But Teral had already decided something. He would not stop searching. Even if it meant uncovering a secret the entire galaxy feared. Because one question still remained. If humans were guarding something in deep space, what exactly were they protecting the galaxy from? Teral could not sleep that night. The words from the ancient report kept repeating in his mind. Humans are not hiding from the galaxy. They are guarding something. Guarding what? The question would not leave him alone. The next morning, Teral returned to the Galactic Archives. This time he searched for something very specific. He searched for the largest fleet ever sent into human space. After several minutes, a new record appeared. The file was marked with a warning symbol. Classified, Council eyes only. But parts of the report were still visible. The mission name appeared. Expedition Fleet Titan. Teral opened the file. The story that appeared on the screen shocked him. 200 years ago, the galaxy had grown suspicious of humanity. Humans were expanding quickly. Their technology was improving faster than any other civilization. Many alien empires became worried. They wanted to know what humans were doing in their territory. So the Galactic Council approved a massive expedition. Not 20 ships. Not 100. But 1,000 warships. It was the largest fleet ever assembled in galactic history. Its mission was simple. Enter human space. Discover the truth. And if necessary, show human civilization the power of the galaxy. The fleet entered human territory through a border system called Helios Gate. At first, everything looked normal. Empty stars. Silent space. No ships. No signals. The fleet commander, Admiral Cross, sent a message to the Council. Human territory appears unprotected. Continuing deeper. Hours passed. Then something strange happened. Sensors across the fleet began detecting small energy signals. Thousands of them. Then tens of thousands. The signals were moving fast. Very fast. Admiral Cross ordered a fleet-wide scan. The results shocked everyone. Ships. Human ships. But they were not arriving from hyperspace. They were appearing suddenly from empty space. As if they had always been there but invisible. And there were far more than anyone expected. Not hundreds. Not thousands. Millions. The entire alien fleet suddenly found itself surrounded. Human warships filled the darkness. Large ones. Small ones. Ships shaped in ways alien engineers had never seen before. Every weapon system of the fleet locked onto targets. But Admiral Cross did not give the order to fire. Because something strange happened. A communication signal appeared. It came from the largest human ship in the formation. The signal translated automatically. A calm human voice spoke. "Alien fleet, you have entered restricted territory." Admiral Cross replied immediately. "This region belongs to the galaxy. Explain your military presence." There was a short pause. Then the human voice answered again. "We are not here to fight you." The alien fleet commanders looked confused. Then the human voice continued. "You should not be here." Admiral Cross frowned. "Explain." The human commander paused for several seconds. Then he said something that confused everyone. "We are not protecting ourselves. We are protecting you." The alien officers exchanged worried looks. Protecting them from what? Before Admiral Cross could ask another question, the human commander spoke again. "You may leave peacefully. But you must never return." Admiral Cross looked at the tactical display again. Millions of human ships surrounded his fleet. If a battle started, his 1,000 ships would disappear in seconds. Slowly, he made his decision. The fleet turned around. They left human space without firing a single shot. But before the fleet exited the region, their long-range sensors detected something strange. Something far beyond the human defense line. Something massive. Something ancient. Something moving in the darkness. The final report from Admiral Cross ended with one sentence. Humans are not defending their territory. They are standing guard. Teral leaned back slowly. His mind raced. Guarding against what? What could be so dangerous that humans built millions of ships to defend against it? And why would the Council hide something like that? Teral looked again at the dark region on the galactic map. For the first time, he realized something terrifying. Human space was not the edge of civilization. It was the front line. And whatever humans were guarding was still out there. Waiting. Teral stared at the old report for a long time. His mind was racing. Millions of human ships. A giant defense line. And something ancient moving beyond it. None of this made sense. If humans were guarding something so dangerous, why did the Galactic Council hide the truth? Why pretend that human space was simply forbidden? Teral decided there was only one way to get answers. He needed to speak directly with the Council. The next morning, he returned to the Great Council chamber. The giant room was quieter than usual. Only a few senior members were present. At the center of the chamber stood Elder Veruin, the ancient council leader who had spoken during the meeting before. Veruin slowly turned when he saw Teral approaching. "You have questions," the elder said calmly. Teral nodded. "Yes. And I believe the council already knows the answers." The elder studied him carefully. "About human space," Teral continued. A few other council members looked uncomfortable. Veruin sighed quietly. "I hoped you would leave this matter alone," he said. "But curiosity is difficult to control." Teral stepped closer to the center table where the holographic map of the galaxy appeared again. The dark region of human territory glowed softly in the air. "I read the old exploration reports," Teral said. "I know about the fleets that entered human space." Veruin's expression did not change. But the room grew tense. Teral continued speaking. I know humans have millions of ships guarding something beyond their borders. One council member stood suddenly. That information is classified. Teral did not stop. And I know the alien fleet detected something moving in deep space. Silence filled the chamber. Every council member now stared at Teral. Finally, Elder Veruin spoke again. You have uncovered far more than you should have. Teral crossed his arms. Then tell me the truth. Veruin slowly walked toward the holographic map. He looked at the glowing stars for a long moment. Then he spoke quietly. Very well. The map zoomed outward. The galaxy appeared smaller as the image expanded beyond known space. Then Veruin pointed beyond the human border. That region, he said, is older than any civilization in this galaxy. Teral looked confused. What does that mean? Veruin's voice became darker. Thousands of years ago, long before the Galactic Council existed, something appeared in deep space. Something enormous. Something alive. The chamber remained completely silent. Teral felt his stomach tighten. What kind of creature? He asked. Veruin shook his head slowly. We do not know. It does not behave like any life form we understand. The holographic map changed again. Ancient sensor recordings appeared. Teral saw something massive moving slowly between the stars. It was bigger than planets. Its shape constantly changed, like a dark storm made of energy and shadow. Teral whispered quietly. That is real. Veruin nodded. Yes. Ancient civilizations tried to destroy it. They failed. Entire empires disappeared. Teral felt a cold fear spreading through him. So what stopped it? He asked. Veruin looked back toward the human territory on the map. Humans did. The words shocked everyone in the room. 200 years ago, Veruin continued, human explorers discovered the creature while expanding their territory. At first they tried to study it. But they soon realized something terrifying. Teral listened carefully. Veruin continued slowly. The creature was moving toward the galaxy. The council chamber felt smaller somehow. If it reached our civilizations, Veruin said, nothing could stop it. But humans did something unexpected. They built a massive defense line. Millions of ships. Thousands of defense stations. They turned their entire civilization into a shield. Teral stared at the map again. So human space is not a border, he said quietly. Veruin shook his head. No. It is a wall. A wall protecting the entire galaxy. Teral suddenly understood something important. That is why the Council forbids anyone from entering human space, he said. Yes, Veruin replied. Because if too many civilizations learned the truth, panic would spread across the galaxy. The room became silent again. Teral slowly looked back at the dark region on the map. For centuries, the galaxy believed humans were dangerous. But the truth was far more shocking. Humans were not hiding from the galaxy. They were protecting it. And the worst part. The ancient creature beyond human space was still moving. Slowly. Quietly. Waiting. The council chamber was silent. Teral could not stop staring at the holographic image floating in the air. Beyond human territory, the ancient creature moved slowly through the darkness of space. It looked like a storm made of shadows. Stars around it flickered and died. Entire solar systems disappeared when it passed near them. Teral spoke quietly. So humans are fighting that thing? Elder Veruin nodded slowly. Yes. For 200 years. The words shocked everyone in the chamber. 200 years. 2 centuries of constant defense. Teral tried to imagine it. Millions of ships. Thousands of defense stations. A never-ending battle at the edge of the galaxy. And the rest of the galaxy had no idea. Why didn't humans ask for help? Teral asked. Veruin gave a sad smile. They did. The council members looked at him with surprise. Long ago, human diplomats came to the council, Veruin continued. They explained the danger. They asked the galaxy to prepare. Teral leaned forward. What happened? Veruin looked around the room. Most civilizations did not believe them. Some council members looked ashamed. They thought humans were exaggerating. They believed it was only a small threat. So the council refused to help. The room grew very quiet. Teral slowly understood. So humans decided to stop it alone. Yes, Veruin said. They built their defense line. They created the largest fleet the galaxy has ever seen. They turned their entire civilization into a shield. Suddenly the lights inside the council chamber flickered. A loud alarm echoed through the station. Warning signals flashed across the holographic map. Teral looked up quickly. What is happening? One of the council officers ran toward the central console. He checked the incoming data. His face turned pale. Sensor reports from the human border, he said. The ancient entity has started moving faster. The holographic map zoomed toward human space. Millions of small lights appeared. Human warships. They were forming massive defensive formations. Teral watched in shock. So the battle is happening right now? Veruin nodded slowly. Yes. The ancient creature was approaching the human defense line. The hologram showed human fleets activating powerful weapons. Bright lines of energy crossed the darkness of space. Massive explosions appeared around the creature. But the creature kept moving. It pushed forward like a dark ocean wave. Teral held his breath. Can humans stop it? Veruin watched the battle silently. Then he answered. They always have. The human fleets moved with incredible precision. Thousands of ships attacked together. Defense stations fired enormous beams of energy. Slowly, the creature began to slow down. Then something amazing happened. A gigantic human ship appeared near the front line. It was larger than anything Teral had ever seen. The ship released a powerful burst of energy. The blast pushed the creature back into deep space. The hologram showed the ancient entity retreating slowly. The danger was gone. At least for now. The alarms inside the council chamber stopped. The room remained silent for several moments. Teral finally spoke. So humans just saved the galaxy again. Veruin nodded. Yes. Teral looked back at the map. The dark region of human territory glowed quietly. For centuries, the galaxy believed humans were dangerous. But the truth was very different. Humans were the only reason the galaxy was still alive. They are not conquerors, Teral said softly. No, Veruin replied. They are guardians. Teral stared at the border of human space. Now he understood why the galactic maps ended there. Human territory was not the end of the map. It was the line where humanity stood against the darkness. The final wall protecting the galaxy. And far beyond that wall, the ancient creature was still waiting. But as long as humans were standing there, the galaxy would survive.